Embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, but you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these.
Well, I think what happened with Floyd is, and this is where he played it smart. You know, you have to give credit where credit is due. Floyd, after he beat me, if you notice, he became Money Mayweather.
Yes.
Well, he became a businessman.
$1 million fight, and you know, I've already in the sport of boxing, I've already made somewhere upwards of 800 million.
You made money. You don't make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic. And why is he doing this?
No, I don't know. Normally, people that are well off don't go back into a sport as barbaric as boxing at 48, X, Y, and Z. That's not normal. But everything doesn't have to make sense to me. It just has to make sense to me.
Confronted with rumors of a total financial collapse, Oscar de la Hoya has finally broken his silence on the Money Mayweather brand, calling out what he describes as a carefully constructed illusion of wealth. For years, the boxing world has marveled at the private jets, the diamond-encrusted watches, and the TBE lifestyle, but the Golden Boy is now suggesting that the facade is beginning to crumble. Observers are now questioning if the man who once generated over $1 billion in revenue is actually living on borrowed time and borrowed cash.
Fighting again. Why would you fight again? Why is Money Mayweather, who has reportedly made up over $1 billion? Now, that doesn't mean you're bringing it all home. That's not net. That is just in terms of revenue, in terms of the gates. The last fight between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather made $668 million. Where reportedly Floyd Mayweather took home, what, 250 of that? So why is he fighting again, everybody says? Boy, people just telling themselves, why would you fight again if you made all that money? Because that means that people don't really want to fight, right? First thing first, we know that at the bottom of the pecking order, the bottom of all the athletic pyramid of success is fighting, right? UFC, boxing, that's the bottom of the barrel. That's the chitlin circuit. Like if you doing that, either A, your daddy was a fighter, or B, boy, you fighting for your life and your circumstances in this world. So few affluent fighters. Like, oh, we have wealth, we have money, we have success. So few just upper middle class fighters. Like, dog, you gotta be from it, the mud. So we all are telling ourselves when we see somebody fight, like, why are you fighting? Oh. So now we're going to the financial, and obviously there are a lot of reports out there that talks about his money. Now, what it doesn't say, it talks about his debt, it talks about some of his liabilities. What it doesn't tell you is his liquidity. What it doesn't tell you is what he has. Now, you don't know what he has. You can guess this. You can say he has these assets over here that aren't liquid. You can say he has this ownership over here. And then you don't know which way to go back and forth. So the guesswork to you and for me, it's not really the best play because it's not going to be fully informed. It's just like going to somebody's website right now and you going to see celebrity net worth. That's not true. Trust me. I've not met one person that their celebrity net worth is real. Like sometimes it's way higher, sometimes it's...
In an interview with TMZ, Oscar de la Hoya was brutally honest on Floyd Mayweather fighting exhibitions and his desire to come out of retirement to fight this rematch. He claimed that Floyd Mayweather is trying to set up a rematch with Manny because he is broke and desperately needs the money. De la Hoya described Mayweather as a lowlife and a fraud, suggesting that Floyd is only looking for a lucrative fight to stay financially afloat because he is no longer generating high incomes from fighting exhibitions.
He's talking this trash because he wants a rematch. Do you think he actually wants?
Absolutely.
You think he wants a rematch?
Look, another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
Again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely. Look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
Right.
Do you think you can spend $500 million overnight? Absolutely.
You can't.
I doubt he'll ever step into that ring. Floyd's a big freaking...
He called Canelo the easiest win of his career.
Yeah, because he was 21 years old.
Right.
Of course. If I fought Ryan Garcia, who's 19 years old, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna beat him easy because of my experience.
So fight him in his prime, he goes down easy.
Easy.
What's your message to Floyd?
Floyd.
This insight reveals that the very persona Floyd uses to flex his billions may have been a survival strategy rather than a reflection of his bank account. According to De La Hoya, the money image was a marketing tool designed to keep the public paying to see him lose, a strategy that worked perfectly until the overhead of that lifestyle began to outpace the actual earnings.
Never flies commercial. He's only flying private.
So he doesn't own his own plane?
I don't think so. I've never seen a Mayweather plane, like a Drake plane. I've never seen that. Not to say that he doesn't. I don't know Mayweather like that. I've never even met him. So I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of properties. You have a lot of money you're constantly spending.
Right.
I don't know. Remember at one point he said he was buying like the jewelry district building.
Yeah, and they said
that wasn't true.
Was yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know this man's finances, but this guy told me that Mayweather is in financial problems.
See, here's the shitty part about actually losing your money when you're on that level and you're, kind of like flossing, showing up. Nobody gives a shit. Like there are people actually praying for you to be broke. And then when you do go broke, that's what people are going to say. Yeah. Oh, well, you should have invested better. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to give him any loans. So now, we might see Mayweather doing...
People will give him some loans.
Maybe.
Listen, he's cozying up to Israel.
But the thing about it is, he had Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah.
And he was hosting a big, he had Gervonta Davis under his cards. And so that's a
yeah, but look what happened to Gervonta.
Right.
Arrested.
So if you can sustain that, you don't ever have to box again. But now has to take fights because, when you floss like Mayweather, you can't go down.
Yeah.
You got to stay right there because people are going to beat any kind of chinks in your armor if you're not wearing 3 or 4 big $1 million diamond chains.
Exposed by recent legal filings, Mayweather is now facing a high-stakes lawsuit from a prominent Miami jeweler, leading many to believe his liquid cash has completely dried up. Court documents filed in early 2026 allege that Floyd stiffed a local business for over $1.3 million after a shopping spree that included 26 luxury watches and 15 gold chains. Even more shocking are the reports of bounced checks and failed wire transfers that have left the king of bling seeking legal recourse.
Floyd Mayweather is the one that seems like he needs the money more right now. Our guy, Andreas Hale, wrote a story that is kind of went somewhat viral. That's crazy, the laugh faces. Although Floyd Mayweather Jr. made hundreds of millions of dollars from his professional boxing career and topped the Forbes list as the highest paid athlete from 2012 to 2014, the boxer is said to have been shortchanged and filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Showtime. The lawsuit filed Tuesday, and obtained by ESPN seeks to recover hundreds of millions of dollars, misappropriated funds, and damages resulting from a long-running and elaborate scheme of financial fraud, breaches in fiduciary duty, and conspiracy orchestrated by Floyd J. Mayweather's former manager and advisor, Al Heyman, with the knowing and substantial participation and aid of defendants Showtime Networks and Steven Espinoza. Mayweather, who's 48, says he is owed at least $340 million and cites a complex web of hidden accounts, unauthorized transactions, and deliberate concealment of financial records as the reason he believes he's been defrauded from those funds. Heyman is not named as a defendant in the complaint, which is interesting because I misspoke and said he sued Al Heyman. He's essentially saying that Showtime and Al Heyman colluded to not pay him with Steven Espinoza, but then he doesn't name Heyman in the suit. Very odd. Anyway, it's a mess, and for those people that always thought that Floyd Mayweather had financial troubles because of the money he owed to the IRS, because of the terrible, terrible business and real estate investments that he's made, and apparently some of these have gone under, and he is owed back rent, or he is owing back rent, and he is delinquent on a lot of payments for a lot of different things right now. These things seem to have added up for Floyd, and now it's pretty apparent that not only is he doing these, bank robbery style exhibitions, but it looks like he absolutely needs to do it, which is very, very sad. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Floyd Mayweather as an individual outside of the ring, but I never want to see athletes have their money mismanaged or mismanage their own money so badly that they go broke in retirement, and it looks like that's kind of what's happening. And here's a snippet from Business Insider because it made me want to pay for the entire article. Business Insider is reporting that Floyd Mayweather could be facing money trouble, citing an estimated $54 million in debt, property foreclosures, multiple lawsuits piling up. Mayweather's attorney strongly denies he's in any kind of financial distress, but the headlines aren't slowing down. $54 million alleged dollars in debt. So it makes sense why
a man who claims to have $1 billion is being sued over $1 million jewelry tab. The red flags become impossible for the boxing community to ignore. Industry insiders note that while Floyd may have massive real estate holdings, his lack of liquid assets is forcing him into a corner where he must either sell his prized possessions or return to the ring for any paycheck he can find.
How does he owe you the money? Why don't you just
Here's what happened. He pre-sold the fight using my likeness to some company in, I think, Dubai or like the Middle East. This is my understanding of it, for $10 million cash. We ended up doing the fight in the States with a different company. That is the company that put on the fight. That is the company that paid me. But he sold our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight, bro. Our deal was 15%. He smoked me. So I got 15% of it. 15% of $10 million is $1.5 million. That company that paid him that money is suing him. I actually don't know the status on that lawsuit. I should check in because he still owes me money, but he has a bunch of legal trouble at the moment that I don't think I'm ever getting the money.
He just sold his house in Vegas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think he's facing a bunch.
Rinsed on that house. He started it.
Vowing to protect the sport's integrity, De La Hoya recently slammed Floyd's latest exhibition circuit, labeling it an embarrassing, desperate grab for cash that tarnishes a 50-0 legacy. The Golden Boy hasn't held back on his Clapback Thursday segment, specifically targeting the recent farce against Tyson and the rematch with Pacquiao. Analysts suggest these exhibitions aren't for the fans, they're for the creditors.
Having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro. As I've always said, it's hard to make money, but it's even harder to keep it. Floyd, I'm rooting for you. Come on, let's turn it around.
If it was truly TBE in the business world, he wouldn't be swapping referees mid-round or fighting in front of half-empty arenas in Mexico just to keep the lights on. The transition from elite pay-per-view king to exhibition merchant is, in the eyes of many experts, the clearest evidence yet of a looming bankruptcy targeted by his former best friend. Floyd's financial house of cards was further kicked by 50 Cent, who recently posted and deleted a scathing claim that the champ is broke and forced to box till he drops. The G-Unit mogul who once managed Mayweather's promotions has been relentless in his pursuit of the truth, even alleging that Floyd's massive New York real estate investments are nothing more than a PR stunt with no actual ownership papers behind them.
There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where, you know, it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying a new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you're already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you...
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when... But see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. Right. You know, so... I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to, you know, to give me the other half of it? Why I gotta ask you for it?
Right.
And then when he...
Are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, you know, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual, the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, man.
And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face and he told me to do that.
How did it get to where we started reading just the tweets? Because it seemed like that, like, I would think that y'all could pick up the phone and say, hey man, you know, what's going down here? as opposed to, you know, I respect the shooter and fuck boys and you know what I'm saying?
That's not Floyd. Floyd don't tweet.
Wow.
That's not him on Instagram. He got somebody next to him. See, everybody around him's codependent. So they're going to roll with...
The rift between 50 and Floyd has always centered on money, and with reports of a $340 million fraud claim involving former associates and a lawsuit against Showtime, the money team looks more like a sinking ship.
February 3rd, 2026, Floyd Mayweather filed a lawsuit in California against Showtime Networks and Steven Espinoza, claiming they helped his former advisor, Al Heyman, misappropriate a huge chunk of his fight earnings to the tune of $340 million. Mayweather says the money is still missing and unaccounted for, and he's now suing Showtime and Espinoza for aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty, civil conspiracy to commit fraud. Ooh, it's a serious accusation there. Conversion, unjust enrichment, and he's seeking punitive damage on top of the missing $340 million. So why is Floyd suing him, and what is he claiming? Well, Floyd argues that during his legendary career, where he generated $1 billion in revenue plus and pay-per-view money, a significant portion of the funds that he made through those events, through his fights, didn't make it into his hands because they were funneled through accounts controlled by his then advisor, Al Heyman. Now, Mayweather says that Showtime delivered those checks and funds through systems that helped Heyman get the money instead of paying Floyd directly. The lawsuit also points to some of boxing's biggest pay-per-view fights, including fights against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, events that generated hundreds of millions in revenue. Mayweather's legal team said he generated hundreds of millions in revenue for Showtime and now wants to recover what he claims was unfair.
By combat sports veteran Chael Sonnen, the narrative of Floyd's smart investments is being dismantled. Sonnen, known for his bad guy persona and sharp tongue, claims the undefeated legend has burned through his fortune faster than he earned it, falling victim to the classic athlete trap of high spending and low yield investments.
Why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy, he grew up in a boxing town, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke. He's a gambling addict. He got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question.
This isn't just about boxing, it's about market share. Oscar implies that Floyd's sudden return to active promotion and his constant presence around young wealthy fighters is a predatory move born out of necessity. Faced with the reality of aging and a breaking body, De La Hoya offers a final chilling warning to his old rival. The sport of boxing eventually takes everything back, including the money. He reflects on his own career ending loss to Manny Pacquiao as a cautionary tale for those who don't know when to walk away. If Floyd continues this path of unretiring for exhibition checks to solve his legal hurdles, he risks more than just his bank account. He risks permanent health issues. The tragedy of the money persona is that it requires a constant stream of cash to maintain, and at nearly 50 years old that stream is turning into a dangerous gamble.
Question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. Literally nobody. It's the same thing with boxing pay-per-view. Whatever boxing pay-per-view is the biggest boxing pay-per-view of all time is just whoever put out the press release and lied more than the person before them. These have never been confirmed by leadership of a publicly traded company, who is the one that supplies the pay-per-view. It is illegal for them to lie. You have never heard Time Warner, you've never heard Cox, you've never heard DirecTV, you have never heard an executive come out and confirm any of the absurd pay-per-view numbers that you believe to be true. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check? And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic to Floyd. So Floyd is arguing that he was robbed by Showtime. That he had a deal that Showtime didn't argue. He's arguing this. And who's making that argument and where that goes? I'm just sharing, like, in public opinion, it's very hard to be sympathetic towards Floyd when Floyd...
Another guy who loved money. 22:57 22 minutes, 57 seconds. As the evidence of financial mismanagement and lawsuits mounts, the boxing world is divided. Is Floyd Mayweather still the king of money? Or 23:0523 minutes, 5 seconds. Is he just another legend struggling to pay the bills? Between Oscar's truth drops, 50 Cent's trolling, and the very real court cases in Miami, the billionaire image is under heavy fire. 23:1623 minutes, 16 seconds. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Oscar de la Hoya and 50 Cent have the inside scoop? Or do you think Floyd is just playing the ultimate heel? 23:2323 minutes, 23 seconds to sell more tickets to his next exhibition. Is Money Mayweather officially broke, or is he still the smartest man in the room?
Potentially make, how much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
How did you get the nickname Money? Did you name yourself Money, or was somebody else?
They just started calling me it.
They just started calling it. You always have a lot of money with you.
A little bit.
Yeah. I have a picture of, this is from Instagram. You're on what looks like a private plane, just with a whole...
No, my private plane.
Your private plane, sorry. With a whole lot of money, and it looks like a couple of bowls of ketchup, maybe, also.
No.
Are you eating this money?
Those are cup holders.
Oh, those are cup holders, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a private plane.
Oh, you didn't flew on me.
What do you do with all this money? I mean, like, do you actually use it? I mean, are you using the cash?
You know, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
How do you even get this much money? What do you do?
Work hard.
I know that, but like, do you go to the bank and say, I need all of it? I want all of the money in your bank.
No, that's not what you do. You order it. You can order it.
Oh, you can?
And when you order a certain amount, when you order millions of dollars, a Brinks truck comes to your home.
Wow.
Yes.
Why not just drive around in one of those things?
I did have, at one particular time, I had a Brinks truck.
You did?
I sold it. Yeah.
Who'd you sell that to?
Another guy who loved money.
Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Legacy Rounds and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.